Welcome to IDA's video channel. In this video, I'll show you how to swap horizontal bands. You might think that it might be fairly easy. You can just use the IDA's swap structure command and then to select the structures where there is a horizontal change in direction. For example, here, there, and so on. But if you have a long pipeline, it might be quite a tedious job. So I'll show you a better option how to swap horizontal band structures. For the first time, I will go to Pipe Manager. Pipe Manager is an interface where we run the analysis, we calculate the quantities, we create as-built networks. So there's a lot of functionality. When I clicked on to open Pipe Manager, I got a message that in a stormwater network, there are some disconnected pipes. I will ignore it because I don't care about the stormwater network, so I click OK. Then it tells me that there are some disconnected parts. I click OK. That's all related to the stormwater network because the stormwater network, for whatever reason, is a default network in this drawing. First thing I'll do, I will change the network tab. So I go to water. So it loads all the water networks. It says reference surface is not set. That's OK. Then under the network, I go to bulk and I will select the bulk. That's the only water network I have in the drawing. Now, what if your network doesn't appear here? It might be caused by the mapping. If I go to mappings, under the networks, this is a place where I can specify how should I treat various networks. And the networks are identified by their part list. So I have a part list in a network and I can say whether that part list should be treated as a water network, stormwater network, or sewer network. For example, standard is not treated as any network type nor utilities. Now, when it comes to part list, where you can find it, let me close this manager for now. Yes. And let me open that tool space. Then I go to Pipe Networks. I will right click on a bulk water and I go to network properties. And under the network properties, under the layout tab, there is a part list, which is default part list for this network. And because of this part list, IDA sees this network as a water network because in the mapping, I specified that the water part list belongs to water networks. Let me click OK. And then I go back to IDA's Pipe Manager. I got that message again because I cancelled in a previous window. OK. Then I switch again to water. OK. And if I want, I can set the reference surface to NGLO Tara. Like this. Then there's a lot of functionality. I will cover those details later on. We run the analysis here as well. But what you can do, you can go to Structures. And then each structure tab has a different tab. And if I go to Junctions, under the Junctions, we have a Fittings and Bends. When it comes to fitting, this is for T's or stop ends. Under the bands, I can see what's the horizontal change in direction, vertical change in direction, combined angle, and allocated band. So if I sort the object by horizontal angle, I can select all the structures that do have angle bigger than 0, and they will be highlighted in plan. I didn't select all of them, but now I selected all of them. Or I can decide only select the structures that do have a horizontal angle bigger than whatever the value is, and do have an allocated band other than straight. So which are those structures? So I have quite a few options here. I will select all the structures that do have a horizontal angle bigger than 0. Then I right click and I go to Swap Structure. Then I can choose the Structure tab. I will select the horizontal band. So I will tap H and I select the horizontal band. Then I click OK. It seems like nothing changed. But if I click on Update, it updates the network. And if I go to Profile, Basically, if there is a vertical line, I should see a new style. It says H here. What I'll do as well, I will turn off the masking for now. So let me do that. I go to Layer Manager, then I go to Water Filter, and I will turn off or freeze the layers with the masking. So if I zoom in closer, so there's a horizontal change, horizontal change. This might be a little bit confusing. Why there is a horizontal change if there is no vertical line? This looks correct, this looks incorrect, this looks correct. And if I go further up, correct, correct. So let's investigate this structure. What I'll do, I will find this structure in a plan. You can use a very nice command which says find part. I will select it. Then I will select the bulk water network. I click on select icon and I select this structure. Then I can switch between plan and profile, as you can see. So this is a plan. I can click OK, and here is the result. Because the structure has a change in direction, but there is no PI. PI is only here. So that's why IDAS sees it that there is a change in direction, while the alignment doesn't have the change in direction. If I want to go back to profile view, I can call that find part command again, and I can click on a second option, OK, and I'm in the profile view. And this is the way to swap specific structures to a specific type.